Hi, it's Michelle Fox from Michelle Fox Beauty and Michelle Fox Online. Last week we did a very simple look for our eyes using 3 basic brushes. This week we're taking it up a notch and I'm going to show you the brushes that I use on the regular that I absolutely love, so don't go anywhere. The 3 basic brushes that I talked about last week are these 3 right here. This one would be considered just an all-over eyeshadow brush. It has sort of a square head. It's fairly thin, not real compact, and that's great for putting eyeshadow anywhere on your eye. If you're just using one color, you would put it on your lid, maybe slightly above, good to go. If you're introducing a second color, you would want a blending brush, something that is long and tapered, and this is going to go in a windshield wiper motion in the crease. And because of the shape of the brush, it makes it sort of a no-brainer. It applies it right where you need it. And then, even though last week was sort of a beginner look, if you wanted to add a third color, an accent color, you would use something with a tighter head, something like this. It might be called a contour brush, a smudger brush. This is depositing a concentrated amount of color in a small area so that you can be a little more precise. When you're working with a dark color, you want to keep it under control, so a brush like this is your friend. This week, we are going to introduce some more brushes. I'm going to go through my whole eye color look and take you with me. We're going on a journey. So I still use the first brush that I referred to, the all-over eyeshadow brush, and I apply that to my lids and just under my brow. I wanted to have my lashes already on before we started today, so I have the color applied to my lid already because I wanted that put down, then I applied my lashes. And now I'm just going to use this brush to apply a light matte color under my brow. That was a mouthful. Okay, so we're going under here. So the reason why you want to put a lighter color under your brow is that you want to highlight your brow bone. It is flattering if your brow is in a nice shape. So that is one more reason to have it shaped by your stylist or a brow expert, and then try to maintain it on your own. It's pretty easy to maintain once you have that shape under control. I did do my brows with a brow pencil. What I do when I want sort of a casual, look for day is I line underneath my brow and do short feathery strokes anywhere that I want to fill in. If I want a more dramatic look, I'm going to line underneath and above, and then I'll fill in. And that's just going to be a similar look, but a little more drama because there's just that line on top just gives it just that little extra oomph. So, but right now we're just applying our lightest color under the brow, and I guess I could kind of add a little bit more here. And this color that I'm using is Biscotti. It is from Kay Chromafusion line. Oh, I got some on my, I knew that would happen, so I put them on early. I got some on my liner. We'll fix it. From Kay Chromafusion eye color line. And what I love about this is that I really like very light matte shadow as my highlight. But a lot of them that I've tried from other brands are so sheer that it seems like my skin just absorbs it or something. I put it on and I can't see it. And I keep having to put more and more and more on, and it just frustrates me. So this is just the right amount of color. If I want to make it really white and dramatic, I can keep packing more on. And if I want it to be sheer, I can take some off. I guess I could even do that right now. You could use that blending brush and just sort of buff some of that off if you want it to be a little more of a sheer look, which is totally fine. But I find that if I use something that's a similar color to my mid-tone right now, that my overall look just seems kind of muddy. So I really need there to be a contrast. I need to lay down something really light first. It can be sheer or it can be packed on, but it's got to be light, okay? So step one, all over eye brush on lid, underneath brow, alrighty? Now we're going into our mid-tone. And here's where I'm introducing one of my very favorite brushes. This is Robert Jones. I don't have my glasses on. I think it's, all right, hold on. Let's be precise. It is number 20. This one, it's very unique, okay? It has like a pointed tip. It is tapered, but it is also, let's see. It's one of a kind. It really is. It's pointed so that it gets right in your crease. It's wider than something like this that I showed you, a smudger brush. The bristles are much more dense than a blending brush. And all right, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Let's just do this. I'm using hazelnut now, which is also, I'm going to use all Mary Kay Chromafusion today. This is hazelnut. I put it, applied it, tapping off the excess, and watch how the point is going to get right into my actual crease, but because of the width of the rest of it, it's going to deposit color above and slightly below, which is what I want, because your crease, if all I did was apply color in the actual crease, when my eyes are open, you can't see that. So we need it to be, you know, a little bit higher and a little bit lower than that. But I'm going to show you another trick. So I'm pretty much doing the windshield wiper motion, or in the same area, you know, right in the central area. But I'm starting from the outside and I'm doing like sort of feathery strokes in. Can anyone guess why? It's because as we age, our eye texture is not smooth. And so with something that's not like really light, let's see, these bristles, because they're not compact, they're sort of feathery, you can go back and forth. When you have something that's more compact, it's going to kind of skip over any grooves, and we got grooves. So I need to make the feathery strokes myself. The brush isn't going to do it for me, okay? So I'm tethering my eye, and I'm coming along that same path, but I'm kind of lifting, stroking like that, coming along the path so that I don't miss anything, so I don't skip anything. Hopefully that makes sense. And I want it to diminish the closer I get to my nose. I think that accomplished that. And I'm going to do the other eye, and then I'm going to show you a little something extra that I do. If you've been around any length of time, I talk all the time about how different my eyes are. And I laugh because if I don't, I'll cry. It's getting worse, like by the minute, I swear. But my eyes have always been droopy. I've always smiled in such a way that I close one eye more than the other. But now it's like the actual shape and position of my eyes are different. And that really kind of freaks me out. But as far as I know, it's not a medical concern. It's just an aging thing. All right, so just like on the other side, I'm just doing like some feathery strokes to bring that mid-tone in here, okay? And isn't that nice how you can tell that the point is getting like right into the actual crease, because that's where the darkest amount is, but then there's still some color slightly above and slightly below. Isn't that lovely? I really, really, I love this brush. Okay, so since this eye, okay, when I open up this eye, you cannot see as much of the mobile lid, typically, as the other eye. See what I'm saying? So with my mid-tone, also called a transition color, I can do all kinds of fun stuff to help balance that out. So I want as much of the white showing on my lid, because that's going to make that lid either seem bigger or it's going to draw attention to it, which is another way of making it seem bigger. This, I want less attention drawn to it because it is bigger than this one. So I take a darker color, my mid-tone, and I bring it down into that white area, just kind of subtly, to take away some of the emphasis from my good eye. And in doing so, it balances them out. And I could use a blending brush, like I could have used that feathery brush, but I've been able to just use this brush for both. So that's what I'm used to. I'm accustomed to doing it like this, but I may need to blend it out. Let's see. So I'm just bringing that color down a little bit farther. It's not rocket science. It's not, it doesn't have to be super precise. It's just down farther. And then hopefully it starts to balance things out. And I might even come over here and bring this up a little higher. And I did not add any color. So if I want to bring the color up higher, I don't want to have like a really heavy deposit of color way up here. I just want, just sort of a gradual, just a little bit. I just want to blend that in with the light color. Boy, I feel like I'm just kind of like, oh well, bear with me. Okay, so that's the beginning of evening them out. Love this brush. Cannot recommend it enough. I will have the link in the description. All right, moving on. The next brush that I got from the Robert Jones collection, again, all right, hold on. I should have this memorized, is number 16. This one, let me double check that it's not, there's two that are really similar. Okay, so the one that I talked about last week that is for your mid-tone where you use the windshield wiper motion, this is very tall and tapered, and it's also beveled. This one is not quite as long, and it doesn't have a tip on the end. It's more like it's spread out on the end. And this is really more for blending than anything else. What I've seen makeup artists use it for is to take a dark color and just sort of blend it out in this outer area. I've done my dark color a gajillion different ways, but the reason why I say this has changed my life is because it's enabled me to just use this one brush, okay? I'm putting some Cinnabar on with this brush, tapping off the excess, and then without starting out with this compact brush and then blending and smudging and all that, all I'm doing is just coming here in this outer corner, and I'm just doing the kind of smudgy, blendy, circular motion, okay? Because I know that I want that deposit, the dark color in this outer corner. I don't want it low. I don't want it too far in or too far out. I want it under the tail of my brow, but about midway from my brow to the bottom of my lashes. I want it about midway, okay? And I'm just going around in circles. Like, how easy is this? And then I just want to bring that in along that crease, like where the mid-tone was. I want it to blend with that mid-tone, and then bring it down toward my lashes. Is that nuts or is that nuts? Like, how easy is that? I will clean that up at the very end, so don't go away. Out here. So the two brushes, honestly, that have like really changed up my routine for the better are that really cool mid-tone brush and this brush. I just absolutely love them. I just feel like a grown-up. I feel like a big girl. Because I always see makeup artists like have all these really cool, unique brushes, and I'm like, ooh, but I felt like, I don't know how to use them. But I thought, you know what, figure it out then. So, and here's another little tidbit, is that if you watch a certain makeup artist a lot, like if you have a favorite, and they have a line of brushes, that's a great line to start with, because that makeup artist is going to be referring to those brushes when they do tutorials. Now I'm using my number 17 brush. Now we'll be using my number 20 brush. So it kind of teaches you real quick how to use the brushes. All right, nice, right? Okay, so I always apply my foundation with a foundation brush. Can't believe I ever did it any other way. And so there's always some residual foundation on there. So to clean up the edge without being too harsh, you know, some people will put Scotch tape or something like that. But if it looks too precise, then that can look kind of funky too. So I will just kind of do this in this outer corner to clean up any fallout and to make sure it doesn't go out any farther than the tail of my brow, because that's not flattering either. You don't want it to go out too ridiculously far, and you don't want it to be low. You want everything to be lifted. Like so. All right. So now, since I've already lined my eyes, this is what I use. I have a black eyelash glue that is also a liner. So I do that, put on my fake lashes, and then because I was doing this tutorial, I noticed that when I looked down, the liner looked a little bit dull because of the white eyeshadow. So I went over it again with my black liner, just my pencil liner. So you can do that as well, but normally I don't take the time to do that. And I put just a little bit of brown liner underneath, but we're going to finish it off with a brush. You can find a liner brush from just about any brush collection. It's just a super skinny brush. And I usually take either the same shade as my accent or a little bit darker. So this time I'm using the same. So it's Cinnabar, right? Is that what I said? Cinnabar. And I'm going to line again. When you use a traditional liner, especially at my age, because I use so much eye cream, the liner can travel. So it's nice to finish it with some powder because that is helping to set it so that it doesn't do that. So I'm using that powder underneath, and I'm really just sort of pressing it up to my lashes. I don't like go straight across. I just lift and press and then flip it around and go this way. I keep it simple. Everything that I do is as simple as possible. All right. And then to kind of connect it to everything else, I might take whatever the residual amount that's left and just kind of come up and bring it into that outer area. See what I'm doing? I'm just bringing that up. And then turn your brush and you can bring it in, kind of fan it in. So all this is doing is just kind of helping to merge that lower color, the color from my lower lashes, with what I've already got going on up here. Follow me? All right. I'll do it real quick on the other side, and then I think I'm going to do black on top because I feel like it already looks a little ghosty, a little gray up here. Hold on, gotta flip. So do you all use a magnified mirror? Like, I can't live without it. I even have to travel with one. I like literally cannot cannot do my face with a traditional mirror. All right, so then after I've done this, I'm just kind of coming out. You know, I'm continuing that line basically up into this area until it meets my accent color. And then if you have to, you know, maneuver this, however, then you want to kind of fan it in. So sometimes it's like, I guess it depends on which hand I'm using. Sometimes I have to change positions to do that. Okay. Let me see. All right, I need some blending action. So I always keep a brush available for blending, for cleaning up, really, that I don't put in the color ever. So this is a clean brush, and I use this to clean up this inner area if there's any fallout, but then also to blend these colors, because I don't always get, you know, I don't spend a lot of time really close up in here. So I'll do that now to blend all of this and clean up any fallout. And this again is a Robert Jones brush. Hold on. I should have this memorized. 28. Oh, man. Sorry, Robert. Okay. And then I have another one, same idea, a little smaller, that I use to smooth out my darker colors. So it usually does have like a tad little bit of color still in there. I mean, I do clean them consistently, but I don't clean them every day. And I use this just to blend this outer area, just in case I missed it or didn't quite, it just needs a little help. This is a looser, well, it's not a looser brush, but it's a wider brush, so it's just kind of fanning everything out that I just did. Every brush has its own specific purpose. I don't totally understand them, but I know they work. All right, I'm going to go back and line the top because you see what I'm saying? How like the liner gets kind of dusty looking because of the eyeshadow. So I'm going to pick up like a black matte eyeshadow. And I'm just going to put that on top of what I got going on. I've noticed that if I get a lot of actual shadow, like the powder, in the glue, my eyelash will get loose. And that is not a flattering look to have your eyelash flapping in the wind. So that's why I don't usually do this, but I just want this to look real nice when we're done. But normally I would do my eyes with the powder until I'm done, and now is when I would put on my lashes. But I wanted to look pretty for you, so I put them on in advance. Mascara is my friend, and yet I dread putting it on. It just feels like it takes so long for me to put it on. I know it doesn't, but it's like these are just like magic, you just stick them on and you've got these long, beautiful lashes effortlessly. I love it. But I really only wear them for videos. When I wear them out in public, I feel like I look goofy. Okay, I think that's good. So, ta-da! And if you wanted to take this to the next level, and let's say you wore this during the day, I'm looking for a certain brush, and at night, where the heck did I put it? Here it is. At night, you wanted to go out, maybe to a Christmas party or something, and you just want to add a little glam to this. You can take something like a really frosty, shimmery color like crystalline, and bring that up along this area here, and maybe even dab it in the center of your eye lid. This is crystalline, like I said. I'm using the all over eyeshadow brush. I'm just kind of going on top of what I did under my brow, but then on my lid, I'm just going right in the center. Just kind of gives it just a little something extra. And you can also take that really tightly tapered contour brush that we talked about last week, dip into that as well, and do the little dot by your tear duct, like so. I did want to real quick mention this lipstick that I'm wearing. Black Honey, is that what it's called? Black Honey? I think that's what it is. Clinique has a color that is like all the rage. I think it's called Black Honey. And so I was looking at it and I thought, gosh, that reminds me so much of Berry Couture. This one right here. And it looks really goth, like when you look at it in the tube. Black Honey does too. And so Clinique has it like in a lip balm, a lip gloss, and what they call their almost lipstick. And so this is kind of the look that their almost lipstick has. And so I already have this on. It's just kind of a smear of it and, applied top and bottom. But what I like about this is that I can wear it like that, or I can wear it a little heavier. You know, to have a little more color if I would like. But if you like black honey, is that right? Is that what it's called? Black honey, I would suggest that you try this because it's in that same color family where it's like a black raspberry, but it's a sheer color. It's a buildable sheer color. And it's really kind of cool. Like it can look more brown or more red or more pink depending on what you're wearing it with. I also want to show you, after we've appreciated this, that another way to take your look from day to Christmas party evening is to add a really fun Christmas red lipstick. This is called Ruby. It was limited edition last year with Mary Kay, and it has sparkles in it, and it's gorgeous. Hold on. Doesn't really go with my outfit, but use your imagination. Ta-da. So that, I mean, that's some drama. And I'm not using a smoky eye look. I didn't really use any black up there or anything like that. I feel like I need to blend. But just because I've got the crystalline, which is quite a bit of contrast, and then a dark red lip, it looks really dramatic. Here, we're going to buff this out a little bit. All right, so what do you think? So I can't recommend these brushes highly enough. I use Mary Kay brushes very regularly, but I also have added the Robert Jones collection just for, extras, little fancy extras. So that is what I use. And my lashes, I need to buff this one too. My lashes are from Kiss. I think they're just called Demi Wispies. And then the liner is from Sephora. And it's just a black liner. And it's like Sephora brand. So, all right. So then, when you're done, then it's all about blending and evening and trying to make sure that you've got the same amount of color on each side. Your eyes are never going to match exactly. But you just want there to be a balance. Okay? You want a balance. I've learned that good is good enough. Perfect ain't gonna happen. So that's my look. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you learned. That's always important. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel, Michelle Fox Beauty. And if you are on my blog, that you click the box at the bottom and get on my VIP list. I can't wait to share some of my VIP secrets with you. Thanks for watching and have a fabulous rest of your day.